Hey, welcome to the DBB channel. The last Shivamon video wasn't the best at showcasing what the deck can do, especially with the infamous green brick mechanic. Hopefully this will better represent what the deck can potentially do. In this semi-final, we have Shivamon against the infamous yellow hybrid with Mazaar Dearie Reaper package. Shivamon is a pretty awesome card that can option lock your opponent, whereby they are unable to answer the board with options, which is usually the easiest way out. It forces the opponent to play mega level Digimons to deal with the Shivamon, which is usually difficult for decks like the yellow hybrid. On the other hand, we have the yellow hybrid with the Mazaar Dearie Reaper. The Mazaar Dearie Reaper is mainly in there just to pair alongside the Gatekeeper, which heals you one if you do have Mazaar Dearie Reaper in play. Additional heals and a security Digimon, what's not to love about it? Without further ado, let's dive right into the game itself as we do see the Shivamon coming down with the 1 cost evolution, healing 1, putting into 6 security. It's gonna gain 1 thanks to the Kari. It's gonna play the dual tamer to pass the turn, as we do see a Shivamon already on the side of the field, so it's gonna just swing at the security, hoping it doesn't die here, as the only way it's gonna die is basically an option in the security. And we're gonna play a game memory boost, look at top 4. I'm gonna pick up the level 4 here, which is gonna be very useful in the middle of the game. We're just gonna pass the turn here as we do not want to summon another Digimon on the field because it will prevent the Shivamon effect from proccing. Because Shivamon does require all Digimons to be suspended on your side of the field to actually option lock your opponent, as he does go for the Shivamon on top of the Dual Tamer there, which is a wise move because the Dual Tamer isn't going to be activated anytime soon, and the Kari will always be activated, guaranteeing him 3 memory. And he's going to gain 1 memory thanks to the Kari, going to put into 6 security here, and he's going to pass the turn with that Dual Black Tamer. Now, the Dual Black Tamer will definitely be very annoying, and we do see the Shivamon actually taking out the Gatekeeper, which is very important because if we were to swing at the security, it's going to spawn out like a security Digimon because of the Mazaar Dearie Reaper in play, and it's going to heal him 1. Now I'm going to use the level 4 champion skill to actually rest one of his Digimon while resting itself, and drawing 1 thanks to the Gamimon. I'm going to swing the Shivamon at the level 5 instead of at the security because if you do swing at the security, there might be a chance you might just kill yourself with the options he does play. You're going to evolve to the Beastmon by paying 3 costs, and going to evolve to another Shivamon here to pass him 4 memory, but he does have the Black Tamer, and it's going to gain to 6 memory here. But with Shivamon both on the field, it's not going to do too much. It's going to hardcore the Gatekeeper to heal 1, but thanks to the Shivamon, it's going to take out 2 security there, putting it down to 4 already. Shivamon is really doing a lot of work here, given that it does minus security and of course option lock him. I'm going to go for the green memory boost here, looking at top 4. I'm going to pick up the Terriermon. Terriermon is of course the obvious choice here because we do miss a rookie in the nursery. I'm going to evolve there just to cycle further. I'm going to cast the option here, which is going to rest one of the Gatekeeper as well as our own Shivamon. I'm going to miss the draw there, so that's very unfortunate. But I'm going to use the Shivamon to swing at the Gatekeeper. And of course now with both Shivamon rested, we're going to pass the turn here as we do not want to commit further and use our Shivamon to actually lock out the opponent in terms of the options. It's going to use Shivamon to just deal 1 security damage and just going to pass the turn there, so that's very unfortunate because his hand must be full of options and our options, no pun intended. And we're going to use the Shivamon to swing at security, and we do hit into the alternate flare, which I have been talking about because the only options that can be activated will be in the security. So we're just going to pass the turn here to prevent less damage from happening. Unfortunately, we do not have any tamers to play, or not, it will be the best cards to actually play to pass the turn. So I'm going to just play the Black Dual Tamer here just to pass the turn. The Shivamon will be unsuspended and killing off the last security, which is a Gankumon option. So with that, the Shivamon does take game 1 and we're moving on to game 2. So as you guys can see, Shivamon is really good against the Mazaar Dearie Reaper yellow hybrid matchup. But of course, the yellow hybrid does have a solution against the Shivamon, and that will be the Susanomon. And hopefully you'll be able to see this game, and we're going to start off the turn with 4 memory here with the Gamimon being hatched. I'm going to hardcore the Beastmon to pass back exactly 3 memory to him. So not the best starting hand, I would say, because we don't have any rookies or any tamers to play. But we finally do have the Mimi. I'm going to cast it here and just pass the turn. So we desperately need some sort of rookie to start the engine or the cycle off. He's going to go for the Zoe Tamer here, looking at the security. He's going to pick up the Zephyrmon. So as you guys can see, this is a different tempo compared to the first game, given that in the first game I would have already Shivamon on the field, but looks like I'm missing my Shivamon. And it's going to go for the Pokemon hardcore here, looking at top 5. And it's going to pick up the Shivamon, of course. And it's going to go for the Dual Tamer as well. So I'm going to start the turn off with 3 memory here, and hopefully we do draw a rookie. And looks like we are still missing the rookie, and we're going to go for the Ninghotmon evolution just to cycle into our deck. This is a waste because Ninghotmon is actually an answer to the Susanomon, but it is what it is. So we're gonna see the Shivamon being evolved onto the Tamer, and thanks to the Pokemon, it's gonna be free. It's gonna evolve to the Jet Shivamon, of course, to heal 1, putting the 6 security here. The Pokemon will actually be throwing inside the security, does hit into a champion, so it's gonna die. It's gonna pass the turn off with just a dual yellow Tamer. We're gonna start off the turn with 3 memory again thanks to the Mimi, and we of course have the rookie here finally in form of Pulsemon, using the Mimi to push out the Pulsemon out because of the level 6 on the field, which is the Nighthawkmon. We're gonna evolve to the Examon to actually rest the level 4, and of course the Jet Shivamon, and the Gummymon will allow us to draw 1. And Nighthawkmon will of course swing at the Jet Shivamon. Now the best case scenario would have been that the Shivamon will be there instead of the Nighthawkmon, but unfortunately it's not the case. And of course we're gonna start off the turn with 5 Marine for him because of the dual Black Tamer as well as the TK. He's gonna evolve to the Zephyrmon here to just cycle into his deck. I'm gonna go for the Jet Shivamon of course, and now putting into 7 security. Man, that's a beast count. It's gonna swing at the champion of course to eliminate as much as Digimon as possible, because sometimes green win you just by storming the field. So the Jet Shivamon hitting that Digimon is of course the better choice. And of course, the level 4 can potentially become a Shivamon if left unattended. Gonna use the Nighthawkmon to just punish the level 5 there, but he's not gonna do too much because he's sitting at 7 security, which is very healthy. We're gonna hardcore the Pismon, and it's not gonna do too much except giving a bunch of memory here because we don't exactly have much plays to do, given that our hand is starting to break a little and we are missing the Shivamons. It's gonna of course just cast the Wyvern Breath at the level 5 because a potential Shivamon is what we need to actually overcome this game, and he does respect the Shivamon. I'm gonna use the Mimi to hatch another egg and of course evolve to the Pulsemon. Interestingly, I do swing at the security and we're gonna get punished by the Gankumon option, and we're just gonna hardcore the Blossomon once again because our hand is just doing us dirty without any level 4s inside. He's gonna go for the Zoe here, looking at the security, and he does miss given that there are 6 cards there, so that's very unfortunate on his end. Gonna push out the Zoe either way, and gonna go for the Zephyrmon for 2 costs to draw 1. It's gonna go for the Gankumon option once again to eliminate all level 5s possible, because any level 5 can potentially become a Shivamon, which is the win condition for this game. We're gonna go for the level 4 Examon here, which will help us to proc a bunch of effects, and that includes the Gummymon, but we're of course gonna rest the Terrormon first to rest the Zephyrmon. Gonna allow us to draw 2 thanks to the Gummymon, and the Easy Izumi will allow us to gain 1 memory as well. Gonna evolve to the Agumon by paying the evolution cost because we do want to swing over the Zephyrmon, and thanks to the inherit we are able to swing over the Zephyrmon given that it does have 6k DP. And we're gonna evolve the Terramon in nursery once again thanks to the Mimi. I'm gonna finally go for the Shivamon as we do finally have it in our hand. But it's gonna start out the turn with at least 7 memory thanks to the dual Black Tamer. It's gonna move out the dual Tamer, actually going for the Susanomon, which is a solution against the Shivamon as it does eliminate 1 Digimon on the field. And he does have 7 memory to work with, so he can evolve and swing in the same turn, which is pretty clutch because the Susanomon does have 3 security attack, which is pretty devastating, especially when I'm playing from behind. And we do hit into a Green Memory Boost, which is a slight glimmer of hope, but it's not going to do too much, and it's going to evolve to the Gigasmon, which is a blocker, and it's going to come in pretty handy in this turn. So we do have 3 memory to work with and 2 Terramons. Can we work out a miracle? We're gonna go for the Rapidmon to actually rest the level 4 here at minus 5k DP. Easy Izumi will allow us to gain 1 memory, and the 2 Gummymon will allow us to draw 2. So we do have a decent hand size, but a hand size can't work if you don't have memory. We're gonna evolve to the Namekian, which is pretty useful if we do have it in the early game because it's our search engine. We're gonna use the Pismon download ability to just rest one of our Digimon to evolve for 1. Use Mimi once again to hatch our last egg already. Gonna evolve to the Pulsemon to Cyclemon to the deck. Unfortunately, we do have only 1 memory, so we're not gonna do too much. We're gonna swing at the level 4 Black Digimon, but he doesn't use the Black Tamer there, so a misplay there again. But definitely a very rare occurrence given that you do have Black Hybrid Digimons and a Black Tamer on the same turn. So we're gonna use the Green Memory Boost to go pick up the Blossomon. It's gonna stand the Susanomon and gonna gain 2 memory thanks to the Easy Izumi, of course, given they have 2 Digimons on the field. The Susanomon will actually be swinging not at the security, actually at a Namekian because he does respect the level 5 once again, or rather the Digimons on the field. It's gonna use the Gankumon option to just blow up the field once again, and we are definitely behind. Look at our hand size though, with all the Gummymon being proc. But as I mentioned just now, if you don't have the memory, you basically don't have the play as well. So we're just gonna evolve to Namekian in the nursery and of course hardcore a Terramon and hope for the best. It does start out of turn with 2 memory here, but it's not gonna be too devastating for him given that he does have Susanomon to swing at security, hitting to a rookie there. He's gonna hardcore the Zephyrmon to just pass the turn. And we do have to deal with that 2 Digimons on the field, and he does have 6 security to work with. so we are definitely very behind in terms of the game. Gonna use the Blossomon download and of course going for the Rapidmon here to rest these two Digimon and minus 5k DP on both of them. And the Easy Zooming will of course proc, gaining us 1 memory. We're gonna use the green memory boost here to push us to 4 memory and of course evolve on top of the level 5 to actually evolve to the Shivamon. The Shivamon will swing at the Susanomon given that the Rapidmon does minus 5k DP already. And of course, it's not going to be enough because the Zephyrmon will go for game here and we'll be moving on to game 3. Now a fair warning for game 3 though, because after editing the video I do realize misplays in the game, so bear with me here as we do explore game 3 together. The Mazaar Diri Paar will of course be hatched and we'll be playing the Kari Tamer to just pass the turn. So we do start out the turn with 1 memory. I'm going to move out the Terriermon. I'm going to go for the Easy Izumi, which will only be 1 cost thanks to the Terriermon. I'm going to hit into an Ultimate Flare to just kill off the Terriermon species, and that's unfortunate as we're going to just pass the turn here because we don't want to commit too much further. I'm going to go for the Zoe here to get the security and of course going to pick up the Grumblemon. Zoe doesn't require you to pick up a yellow Digimon in the first place, so Grumblemon does fit the criteria. I'm going to use the Kari Tamer to gain 1 memory here. I'm going to hack out the Pokemon to pass the turn looking at top 5, and we do see a bunch of Dual Tamer which is going to pick up. Of course, he's going to pick up the Dual Black Tamer, which is definitely a better cut against the green matchup because green matchup will always have a lot of Digimons on her field. I'm going to hack out the Pismon here. Man, the green is doing me dirty, especially with all these draws, but the Zoe will be pushed out here and evolve to the Zephyrmon for free thanks to the Pokemon. It's going to evolve to the Jet Shivamon, which allows him to gain 1 security as well as he does evolve. And he does gain 1 memory thanks to the Kari. It's going to reconsider the Kari effect so he doesn't gain that 1 memory, and it's going to just play the Zoe Tamer here looking at the 5 security once again. And does pick up the Zephyrmon, which is a +1, very nice for him. It's going to push out the Zoe once again to evolve to the Zephyrmon. Now the thing about Zephyrmon and Zoe is that they actually buff the security, which is something we usually forget, and especially in this case we do swing the level 5 and it's supposed to die given that the Zoe is there to buff at the security, so the level 5 shouldn't have survived, and this misplay was actually caught I would say quite later into the game, so that's very unfortunate given that we both actually missed the Zoe effect. So I'd like to apologize for this huge misplay, I would say, and I hope this serves as a friendly reminder for everybody to have some sort of like dice on the field to actually let the opponent know that the security is being buffed, etc. So in this turn, he's going to swing all 4 of his bodies at the security and 2 of them will leave because it's the Tamer. He's going to pass the turn off with the Dual Tamer here. The Shivamon of course proc his ability to eliminate 1 security, and I must say when I was editing this video it doesn't feel very good because the Shivamon shouldn't have been there given that the level 5 shouldn't have survived the swing. However, the game still goes on. I'm going to use the Shivamon to swing at the Jet Shivamon here. Another upcoming misplay here as I do mistaken the Pulsemon as a Terriermon, and the Easy Izumi won't help me there because both of his Digimons, or rather the Pokemon, is already rested, so I won't be able to gain any memory, and the Green Memory Boost won't be able to play here, let alone the Blossomon. So very unfortunate that this video does have, I would say, very significant misplay, so I really like to apologize for that. But the game still goes on as he does go for the Susanomon here and returning 10 Hybrid and Tamers to the bottom of the deck and does kill off the Shivamon. So it's going to return 10 cards here. I would say 8 of them will be from the drop zone, or rather 9 of them. He's going to put 1 from his hand and put to the bottom of the deck to kill off the Shivamon once again. I'm going to start off the turn with 3 memory here thanks to the Mimi. Going to resend our Blossomon and of course move out the Terriermon. Going to use the Mimi to hatch 1 more Digitama from our nursery. Now going to use the 1 cost option here to rest the Susanomon and the Terriermon, preventing the Susanomon from restanding the next turn, and the Easy Izumi will both proc, gaining us 2 memory here. So it's a +1. I'm going to draw 2 cards thanks to the Gummimon, so a lot of synergy happening. Going to hardcore the Namekmon, which allows us to look at the top 3, which is a search engine, which is pretty nice, and we do pick up the Shivamon. Now we have to figure a way to basically rest that Blossomon, and of course we do have another Blossomon in hand which allows us to do that, given that we can rest the Blossomon to evolve on top of the Namekmon. Gonna evolve the Blossomon into a Shivamon, so basically with all the Digimon rested, he's not allowed to cast any options, which prevents him from doing too much as he does hardcore the Gatekeeper here to just pass the turn. He's gonna heal 1, but the Shivamon will take it out immediately at the start of turn, so unfortunately the heal doesn't do too much and gonna give us a bunch of memory to work with. We're gonna go for the Rapidmon here to basically minus 5k DP on the Susanomon, which will allow us to swing over with the Shivamon. I'm gonna use the 1 cost option here once again to basically rest the Gatekeeper and of course one of our Digimon, and this will proc the Easy Izumi and of course the Gummimon on the field, so allows us to gain 2 memory and of course draw 2. I'm gonna go for the download here to evolve on top of Rapidmon by resting our Blossomon here to evolve to the Pismon for just 1 cost. And then we're gonna follow up with a Terramon in the nursery, of course. I'm gonna go for another Easy Izumi and of course evolving on top of the Pismon into another Shivamon. So the both Shivamon on the field is gonna do some serious damage in the next turn. Now the option will prevent him from restanding the Gatekeeper, which is very unfortunate as he does feel very stuck. He's gonna go for the TK here just to pick out 1 security, adding it to hand. It's gonna pick up the 1 cost option and it's gonna shuffle the security given that the top 2 will be discarded through the Shivamon. I'm gonna reject the shuffling, and of course 2 security will be taken out and it will be the Gatekeeper and the dual Black Tamer. And with the Terramon being pushed out here, this should be game, as Terramon does hit the security, hitting to a dual Yellow Tamer, and the Blossomon will go for game. Now this is the Shivamon list, and I hope this video bring you guys more insight on how the deck does play out. And this will be the Yellow Hybrid with the Mazaar Dearie Paar package. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the video.